Hey guys, it's Jason. I'm going to be walking you through the crop tool. I am going to give you a real quick basic synopsis of the crop tool and some of the things that it can do. But one of the interesting things that you should note about the crop tool is the permanent aspect of it, right? Once we're done cropping, there's really no going back. Some people prefer to do their crops at the beginning. Some people prefer to do it at the end. I tend to be the type of person that likes to crop an image before I'm going to edit that image. And the reason is, like, let's say this had a background to it, and I want to crop this as a vertical image. I wouldn't want to go through and spend time editing things off on the side that I don't really need to be editing, only to find out that I've cropped them off, right? You could have hours worth of editing out here in the side that you now have just cut off. So just be thinking about that. Just a little pro tip there. But I'm going to go down to the fourth tool down. It's a crop tool. And you have a couple of different options of things you can do inside the crop tool, okay? You have what are known as ratios, or you have what's called a width, height, and resolution. And then you have a couple of kind of standard or repeat items that are used in different aspects. I never seem to touch these guys. I really am using mostly, the width, height, resolution, but I do use the 1-to-1 if I'm going to go through and crop something for Instagram, and now Instagram is more of a 4:5 ratio. And then 16:9, I do a lot of video work, so cropping an image for 16:9 for a PowerPoint display or something like that. I use this quite often as well. But for the sake of today, I'm going to go through and walk you through width, height, resolution. And before we do that, I'm just going to go through and say, okay, well, this image, I need to know what resolution it is anyway. So if I go to image size, this is going to give me some information about that image. It's important to me, right? It's 3600 by 2400 pixels at a resolution of 300 dpi. You guys can see it's pretty sharp, right? It's a real nice image. I need this, though, to be 1920 by 1080 at 72 dpi, okay? So for me, I'm going to go in here with my crop tool selected, and I'm going to choose 1920, okay, 1920 pixels, px, and then 1080 pixels at 72 dpi, okay? Now, this gives me my rule of thirds that I can go through and grab with my mouse and slide my image up and down inside this file. I'm going to place the shoulders right about here in this spot where the bottom third is. And then after this, it's a simple hit return or go to your move tool and crop your image. Now when I go to image size, you'll see it says 1920 by 1080 at 72. And you're like, why do I care about that, Jason? Well, you care because if you're building a website or you're doing something that has very specific pixel dimensions, you're going to want to go through and crop those images down to the exact size that they need to be so that you're not processing any more image than you need to. If you were dragging and dropping this image into InDesign and you knew, let's get bigger here, you knew this image needed to be 4 inches, okay? So let's go to 4 inches, 4in by 4in, and now I could use my 1-to-1 ratio if I wanted to. But in InDesign, I know that my printer wants this to be 150 dpi. So now I can scale this and take just the parts that I want. And let's get a little bit more. I really don't like cropping off somebody's shoulders like that. Okay, so now I have my image at 4 inches by 4 inches at 150 dpi. Guys, this is saving a tremendous amount of file space. It's saving a tremendous amount of processing space. You're not putting images that are too big into your software, and it's ultimately, let's say you were going to frame this, it's giving you the exact size that you need for the frame without having to go through and worry about the image not showing up because the frame's too small. So that's just a little bit about the crop tool. Reach out if you need some help. Good luck.